So over the last 8 years, I've helped hundreds of people buy houses, and here are the 6 essential steps when it comes to buying a house. So the first step is going to be getting pre-approved, and there's really 3 major pillars that lenders look at when they're pre-approving you. So number 1 is your credit score. So really, minimum credit score is a 620. Now, you will hear a lot of lenders advertise that they can go below a 620, they can go down to a 580, but what they don't tell you is that 1, you're going to get killed on the rate and the fees. You're also going to need a really high down payment and a lot of money saved up. So really that next benchmark is going to be a 620. Now also, credit score directly impacts the interest rate that you're going to get. So the better your credit score is, the better your interest rate that you're going to get. Then number 2 is income and how much debt you have. Now this directly impacts how much buying power, how much you're going to get approved for. And really, income is the main difference between getting pre-approved for $1 million house versus getting pre-approved for a $100,000 house. And number 3 is savings. So they're going to see how much you have for down payment and or closing costs. Now you can get grant programs and down payment assistant programs to help you with the closing cost and the down payment. But again, you need to have some money saved up. The banks are going to want to look at that. And then number 2, they're going to look at your documents. So if you are a W-2, if you work for someone, they're going to need your last 30 days of pay stubs. They're going to look at your last 2 years of W-2s. If you're self-employed or 1099, they're going to look at your tax returns for the last 2 years. They're also going to need for everyone bank statements and your driver's license. And in the pre-approval consult, at that time, I'm going to give you the amount that you're pre-approved for. We'll also go over different monthly payment options to make sure that you're within your budget for where you want to be as far as monthly payment. We'll also go over how much you need for cash to close, if there's any grant programs out there, and we'll also go over your loan options as well. Then at the end, we're going to give you a pre-approval letter, and that's when you can move on to step number 2. So now that you got pre-approved, that next step is step 2, which is the home research phase. And during this phase, you're going to work with a realtor. They're going to set you up on a search for the right criteria that you tell them. And this is when you see what's out there. You're going to find the home that fits your budget, location, everything that you need. And then once you found that home, you're going to at that time submit an offer. And it's very important when you're submitting offers, before you send that in, to consult with your lender. Your lender and your real estate agent has to work together to make this a smooth process, because you want to make sure that you know exactly how much closing costs are going to be, if you're going to need to ask for the seller to cover your closing costs. And also too, you need to see up front if this home fits the monthly payment for your budget. Then there's really 3, whenever you submit an offer, then you go into negotiations. And the seller can do one of 3 things during this time. Number 1, they can reject your offer. This happens a lot of times if you weren't the highest offer, the best offer, and they have multiple people submitting an offer. Number 2, they can counter, and they can send in their terms, and you can negotiate with what you want. And then number 3 is they accept your offer, and at that time you're officially under contract. Then you go to the next step. And now that you're under contract, then you move to step number 3, which is going to be your loan is submitted to underwriting. And up front, the lender is going to send you what's called their disclosure packet. And in those packets, these documents show all of your loan terms on paper. It's going to show you the amount of closing costs, the down payment. It's also going to show your interest rate and the monthly payment as well. These disclosures also gives really your lender full permission to move you into the underwriting stage. Then once you're in underwriting, all what an underwriter does is just review all the documents that you send to them. It reviews your loan application that you sign. And then they decide if they end up approving your loan, they're going to approve it with condition, which just means that they need extra documents in order to get you fully clear to close. And step number 4 is the appraiser. And the appraisal is ordered really within that first 2 weeks once you go under contract. The lender itself orders this, and the licensed appraiser actually physically goes out to the property. And what they do is the home is valued. So they're going to look at all different comps in the area, and they're going to come up with a valuation of that home. And they also are going to inspect for major safety hazards as well. And really there's 3 major outcomes when it comes to this. Number 1, if the value of the home equals the purchase price that you're buying it for, that's great, nothing changes. If the value of the home, if they value it higher than what you're purchasing it, again, nothing changes at all. You just have instant equity in the house. Now, number 3, if they value the house lower than what you're purchasing it, at that time you have to go back to the negotiation with the seller, because the bank is only going to give you money or lend on the amount of the appraised value. And step number 5 is working on that conditional approval the underwriter sent out. And they're going to request a lot of different items. A lot of times they're going to want to see proof of insurance. A lot of times it's the appraisal report, or they need updated bank statements or any letters of explanation. These are some of the most common ones. Then once the conditions are cleared, that means that you've satisfied everything that the underwriter has asked you for. That's when you get officially the clear to close, and that means the loan is officially done. Then the final step is clear to close and closing day. So final numbers are sent once you get that clear to close, and you're going to receive what's called a closing disclosure, or what's called a CD. And it's going to tell you what your final loan terms are. It's going to tell you your final closing costs and the final cash to close as well. Then on closing day, that's when you're going to wire the amount that you need to bring to the closing table. You're going to wire that to the title company. And you're going to actually sign the documents at the title company as well. Once everything is signed and the loan is funded, then you're officially a homeowner and you get the keys in your hand. So if you're planning to buy a house and want to know how much buying power you have, click on the link in the description, schedule a call, and I'll be in touch.